This is the time of year. Last month, it was a big deal. They've been waiting all year for the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates, and what's that going to do to the real estate market? And interestingly enough, so far as we get into the beginnings of 2016, rates actually dropped. So there are a lot of people considering buying and selling homes. The real estate market is actually kind of off to a booming start in 2016 here in Santa Clarita. But there are a lot of people who hesitate, especially selling their homes, because you know what? I just haven't done anything to it, and or it looks fine. This Formica from 1968, I bought this home in Old Orchard when it's new. Look at the high-low shag is awesome. Well, here to talk about things you can do, first of all, because in an effort to maximize the value of your home, but another thing to kind of give you a little incentive to kind of do some upgrades, Richard Szerman from Realty One Group. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Doing great. Now, this is kind of a big deal because you are actually offering an incentive for sellers to fix up their house.
Yeah, well, we know as realtors, it's a pretty straightforward sort of proposition. The better the house is, the better condition it's in, the faster it's going to sell, and the more money we're going to get for it. And we all have the same goal, the seller and the realtor, at least they should. So we know that when we put money into one of our clients' homes, which is something we've been doing for many years, it sells quicker and it sells for more money. So that works for all of us. It's something we've been doing for quite some time. We're just turning it into a program now, so we're just rolling it out. We're calling it the Resale Renovation Program. And basically the way it works, and this is I hope revolutionary, it's certainly different, is we literally give people money to fix up their homes prior to sale. I'll give you a really good example. We had a house recently in Castaic where we had it on the market. It was worth about $330,000, something around there. We spent about $4,000 or $5,000 on the property, just doing some basic fix-up stuff, just some basic maintenance, some carpet, things like that. And we were able to turn that house around at $390,000. So for a couple $1,000, the seller walked off with $60,000 more than they would have otherwise. That's pretty good.
Exactly, and that's very true because a lot of buyers, most of them, unless you're a real handy type of person, you want to at least walk into something that's kind of a turnkey situation.
Sure. Well, also when you have a house that looks better, when it presents better, you photograph better, virtual tours better, that sort of thing, you get more eyeballs looking at it, and you get more people calling you about it. Like any commodity, the more people who are interested in it, the more it's going to sell for. It's just that simple.
That's true. What do you say, Richard, is the best investment for those dollars that people get to really do some renovations and upgrades?
There's no real easy, straightforward question to that. There's no answer to that question that works for everybody. It really depends on the house and where it is. It's all very situation specific. I'll give you one now. It's more a matter of patching the holes. We've got one right now where it's a lovely house, but the pool hasn't had water in it for the last probably 6-8 months, and it looks awful. But for about $2,000, we can get that pool cleaned out, get water put back in it, and away we go. So we're talking to the seller about doing that right now because a pool without water, well, a pool with a bicycle in it is not going to sell nearly as well as a pool with water in it. Granted, we're in the winter now, but we're in California, and people look at that stuff. So the better the house looks, the better you present it. It's not brain surgery. The better you present it, the more you're going to get for it, and more importantly, the more people are going to be interested in it.
That's very, very true. You offer a lot of different programs as well.
We do.
We've got your loan modification program. There's a renter rebate program also that we've talked about here on KHTS. So the idea that you go beyond just, hey, I want to get my commission here and move along, that you actually invest time and effort and money into buyers and sellers, that kind of sets you apart from other real estate.
Absolutely. I hope so. I don't know why other people don't do it. I suppose you'd have to ask them. But when you look at real estate, if you're doing your job well and if you're doing a good job with it, it can be very lucrative. And I've been doing it for a long time. I started selling real estate when I was 18.
Wow.
And yeah, despite my youthful looks, I'm 44 now. So that's 24, 25 years now, almost 26 years. April, I think, is 26 years for me. Anyway, more than half my life. And what I've seen over and over again is situations where people should be able to do what they want to do. They should be able to achieve their goals, but they're a little short here, they're a little short there. And it just makes a whole lot more sense, rather than scrambling around to try to get that done, to just get it done up front, offer it as a program, and it makes it better for everybody. It's, the business acumen, the business idea of the more you give, the more you get isn't revolutionary. This, I think, probably the first business deal in history, probably the first caveman who killed more than he could eat and wanted to trade some of what it was for his neighbor's sharpened sticks, probably said, taste some of this. If you like it, we'll swap. And that's really just an outgrowth of that. It's really no different. We look at it this way. Going back to my Castaic example, the more that house sold for, the more money I made. It cost me a couple $1,000 to get that house put back together for them, and the seller didn't have the money to do it. But they walked off with a lot more money. They tell all their friends that this crazy realtor they met was willing to put his money where his mouth is. and get this done. And I also made more in commission as a result because the house sold for more money. So it works for everybody. Same thing is true with the rental rebate program where we give people money to buy houses. The same thing is certainly true with the loan modification program where we fight with banks, we save these houses. The idea is just to be a resource to the community. Unfortunately, I think too many realtors just don't understand that. They'll be happy to send you out refrigerator magnets and give you little American flags on the 4th of July and some of the other stuff that goes on. But they're really not making themselves a resource. They're just not. And there are two ways to do that. And we do both. One is know what you're talking about, and the other one is use your bank account. If you really believe what you say, put your money where your mouth is. And I've been doing that for 20 some odd years.
Outstanding. So no excuse not to sell your home. Realty One Group, Richard Szerman, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Honestly, my phone number, we have a website and stuff as well, but the easiest way to get a hold of me, the most direct way is just call me, 661-714-1400. That number again is 661-714-1400. You can text me at that number as well. I respond to calls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I like my job a lot, so I always like it when people call. But yeah, please call me anytime, 661-714-1400.
Outstanding. Richard Szerman, Realty One Group. Real estate in Santa Clarita, offices on the Old Road. You can't miss them. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate what you're doing for the community.
Happy to help.